welcome back to our iconic series on why should we care about Jesus? Why is Jesus so important? So today is called Fandom. Last week we heard about historical Jesus, meaning if there's people and then there are facts that prove that he walked this earth, that he was human, that he had a mother, that he had a father, and he had followers, and that he ate and breathed and ate and did all the things that we do. So that's kind of easy to understand and believe. But Jesus was not just a historical person. Jesus is the Son of God. That is a really big thing. That's why we should care. And he was a really good guy. And how do we know he was a really good guy? Well, in the Old Testament, because the Bible is made out of two pieces. The Old Testament is before Jesus was born. So that is God pursuing the people so we can reconcile with him, because we are broken and there's a lot of messed up things happening in the world. So then God is pursuing us in the Old Testament. But then God sends his only son, who is Jesus. God and Jesus are the first and second part of the Trinity. So completely human, like we heard last week, completely divine, because Jesus is God, is the Son of God. He sends his son so we can be saved, and we have a blueprint how to live this life in this earth. So that's why we have the New Testament, where are all these Gospels, 4 books that are called the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, written by people, disciples that were with him, that walked with him, that lived with him during Jesus' ministry on earth. So these Gospels were written by people that were completely different. So the Gospels are kind of completely different as well, because they were written for different audiences. Even though it was the same event, they were different audiences, so we could all hear and understand the story. And now we have the Bible that was inspired by the Holy Spirit. After Jesus' death, people are still writing books about Jesus. Now, these are inspired by the things that God and Jesus have done in their lives, but they weren't people really living with him anymore. So why is Jesus and God are still inspiring us? He's either God, he's either a liar, or he's either a lunatic. So if he is Lord, then everything that we are learning about him being the Son of God is true. If that's not true, then he's a liar. But can someone hold a lie for all these thousands of years? Usually a liar, even if he's a really good liar, like, he will fall and we will find the fault. So he's not a liar, because we can't find any evidence that he lies. Everything is true. And we have witnesses, and we have books, and we have the Bible, and we have the gospel. Well, if you have a singer that you follow, and he has this crazy fandom, like there's all this popularity, he kind of goes crazy. So he becomes a lunatic, right? So a lunatic loses his purpose. He starts acting weird, saying weird things, like he starts contradicting himself. And God, Jesus, does not do that. He's not a liar. He's not a lunatic, because he's never changed, ever changing. So then he is Lord. And believing that he is divine and that he is real, more than a historical person, but the Son of our Creator, is a big thing. Let's hear about our friend Benny, who can tell us more about his journey with this good Jesus.
If I were to say something to myself, if I were to meet myself when I was younger, I would probably tell myself that, God's the way and you gotta just trust in him. And I know that sounds kind of vague, but I mean, if I know younger me, if I were to meet futuristic self and he told me something, I would 100% believe it. I wouldn't say that I've always been strong in faith with God when I was younger, because Actually, when I was younger, I would just wait until church was over just so I can come back home and stuff like that. Jesus to me, he's well, first he's my God, but second of all, he's like a friend. You know, he gives me like a sense of hope, and he like comforts me. You know, when there's like bad things going on in life, when it's kind of getting like a bit of a struggle. Whenever like I just need help or anything, I can always talk to him, and it's not like it's limited because he's busy doing other things. I've learned a lot about God through Jesus. Like I've learned the loving embrace of God and how he just like wants us to come back even though like we might have fallen multiple times or we might have come short a lot of times. You know, that he's always going to be there. He's always going to be forgiving, and he's not like this tyrant that just wants to like condemn us for anything bad that we've done. I do consider myself a disciple of God because not saying that like, oh, I'm like a saint or whatever, or that I'm super pure. I've always had that faith in him, and I've always kept that trust in him. There's the times, you know, where I've come short or that I've done wrong or, you know, just went along the wrong path. But I've always kept that faith that God's still there. Even when I've done wrong, like I still feel that he's still there. And I always keep this, I always keep him in the center of like my life. I always keep him in the center of my heart, you know, knowing that it's not anything else that can come before him. It's always just him. I think that makes a major difference in my life because there's a lot of struggles that I've gone through that sometimes if I think about it too, that like if I didn't believe in God and if I had like no sense of who God was, I would feel really lost and abandoned in those moments. Not to say that God just makes everything completely easier. No, like life is still hard, but he does help like comfort you in those moments, and he does help like get you to keep going and to keep that strong like pursuit to like keep a good fight, you know? Like especially at times like this when it just seems that the world's kind of going downhill. He just really keeps that perseverance in me. And honestly, the real change that he has in me is just this determination that I can do good and that like there's still goodness in this world, you know. One time we went to confession and my sister was there and she went to the confessionals and all. And so then like we were there and then afterwards we left and like we got into the car. And then once we got into the car, my sister was telling me, she was saying that like, Benny, I just had like the craziest thing happen. I was like, what? And then she goes, so when I sat down to do my penance and I was feeling really lonely, but then I felt this like warmth like come beside me. I heard walking and I heard it come closer and closer to me. And then I felt someone sit down right beside me and put their hand on my shoulder. And I looked back, like I looked to the side and I didn't see anyone there, but the presence was still there. That's what she told me. And she said that, you know, that has to be Jesus. Can't be anyone else. And, you know, I really believe that. I was like, wow, like that actually happens. And she's not one to lie. I feel like this like strength and this hope and this perseverance that like sometimes just overcomes me when like situations look really bad or looks like there's like no way out of it. And you know, like I wouldn't see myself doing that. It's kind of like something that just sparks out of nowhere. I definitely believe in this. I definitely believe in the Holy Spirit.